Guys, I'm back. Alright, so today I've got another foundation review for you. If you remember, I did a foundation review on the Covergirl plus Olay Simply Ageless Foundation plus Titanium Dioxide Sunscreen Foundation in 205 Ivory. And I actually did like this one. The only thing I didn't like was that it seemed a little heavy on my skin. Like, it kind of felt a little heavy and it kind of looked a little heavy, but not horribly. This is not a bad foundation at all. Just personally, I just thought it looked a little heavy, felt a little heavy. And the shade was not the best shade. And I almost think that white titanium dioxide sunscreen makes it look a little chalky on your skin, or like, I don't know, it just adds a lot of white pigment or white color to the foundation. So for me, that was nice because it made it light enough. But I don't know, you could almost tell. I don't know. So this is not, for me, this is not my favorite foundation. I think the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation is my favorite one that I've tried so far throughout this whole series of every drugstore foundation that I've gone through. This one is pretty good though. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just, for me, I'm just not crazy about it. I just don't think it's amazing for me. But if you have mature skin, or even if you don't have mature skin, this gave a beautiful glow. It was very pretty. It had good coverage. So it was not bad. Just for me, it's just not my favorite. But the Simply Ageless line of CoverGirl has a liquid foundation as well. So we're going to try that today. And this is the same packaging that was the, I think, Advanced Radiance foundation that I did not like at all. And I really like the packaging though. Like, I got a little silly about that packaging last time too. I don't know what it is about this packaging that I just really like it. I don't know. I'm weird. Okay, so we'll try one side sponge, one side brush. I got two application methods today, but this one on this says it's the #1 anti-aging foundation. I didn't think it made me look that much younger. I don't think it's anti-aging. It's another one of those, you know, we put sunscreen in it, and so technically we can say it's anti-aging, but there's really nothing else, no anti-aging ingredients in it. It says Olay. They're trying to trick you. But the foundation itself is nice. I think they could have dispensed with all that Simply Ageless kind of stuff, because I think that's it's kind of misleading. Anyway, but it is a nice foundation. It was $12.99 at Walmart, which for me, that's a little bit high. That's higher than I want to pay. Or no, it was $12.44. Yeah, I think it was $12.44. This one, same price. So let's slap this on, y'all. All right, so let's take a look at how it's gonna come out. Depending on where you get this is going to depend on how much it costs. Obviously, it costs more at Walgreens and stuff. So this is very creamy, and it's almost moussey. Yeah, it's a little bit moussey, but it's very creamy. So I'm just going to dot it on first. This was the lightest shade. Oh, very highly fragranced. Not bad, but it smells good. But it just, sometimes, like, I have to be careful with fragrances because they burn my eyes. Like, I'm sensitive to fragrances that way. This says it instantly reduces the appearance of wrinkles, improves tone, and delivers firming moisture. So this says it has moisture in it, or like a moisturizer type of thing in it. I'm not sure what it is though. I'm assuming it's part of that whole Olay thing. All right, so let's start off with sponge. Yeah, very highly fragranced. I'm not crazy about the smell. It doesn't smell bad. It's just not a favorite smell of mine. Been out of action for a while. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so there's one side. I got the lightest shade in this one, which was 210. The lightest shade in this one is 205. This one says 205 Ivory. This one says 210 Classic Ivory. I don't know. Yeah, this is very moussey. I don't know if you can see there. I don't know, you probably can't see very well. It's just, it's really moussey. I'm gonna put the, that was a full pump, and I feel like with the sponge, the full pump was needed for the full, this side of my face. Yeah, and it's already starting to kind of dry down, so whatever's left on my hand is not going to be enough for the full other side. I do not like the shade of this, number one. It's a little bit orangey. Again, they're always going for peach, but it always comes out orange. Let me give you guys a close-up look, and then I'll take a close-up look myself. Looks nice on the skin, really, though. I like, so far, like, just off the bat, I like this one better. It's got better coverage, and it looks just a tad nicer on the skin, and it was lighter. So, all right, let's have another. I'm gonna do another pump, and oh well, ooh, that was a that pump came out a little bit bigger. So maybe the first pump wasn't quite a full pump. Yeah, it's really creamy and kind of moussey, and I after that Wet n Wild one, I really wish like foundations would just give you a nice, good coverage, thin formula. Yeah, it feels like it's going a little bit longer, like a little bit further with the brush. Yeah, it feels like it's going just a tad further with the brush. And that's way too much that I have on my hand now. And I have a feeling that I just picked this up this morning, and I'm starting to have a feeling that this is not actually the lightest shade. I think somebody might have moved this over into the lightest shades spot, and it's actually the second lightest shade. I should have checked a little bit better, but because I remember thinking that Classic Ivory was the second lightest, and I picked the one up right next to it, which should have been the actual lightest shade, and I remember thinking, oh, they've got one lighter than Classic Ivory, so I don't think this is actually the lightest shade. I think there might be one more shade lighter. All right, so there's the difference. Sponge, brush. Yeah, already off the bat, I do like this one better as far as coverage goes. As far as feel on the skin, this one doesn't feel as heavy as the other. I'm going to go ahead and see how much more coverage I can get out of this, but I'm going to go ahead and use the sponge. Because I don't know, I'm not sure why, like if there's some technical reason, but I feel like I'm liking the way the sponge is putting this on a little bit better. Although I do believe that it is soaking up a bit more of the product. But as you can tell, I mean, it did a pretty good job covering up my dark under eyes. But again, because this color is a little bit on the orangey side, I don't know if you can see, I get like a white patch right there underneath my lip. And there's a bit of a contrast between the foundation and my actual skin, and it happens quite a bit, and I feel like no matter what I do, I can't get it to be covered up. There's not a mirror on this, annoyingly, and at this point in time, I could use a mirror, you know? Because again, I forgot my small mirror to check up close. Okay, so I'm just gonna look up close in my viewfinder. Viewfinder, I mean my mirror. I don't know, I'm not loving it at this point. It's okay. It did a decent job covering up my dark under eyes. Looks pretty good on the skin though, I mean. But I mean, you can see because of the color, I've got like a weird discoloration here and here, and that just bothers me. I think if you want more coverage, get this one. But be careful because of that titanium dioxide. It does make it a little bit whiter. So I have the lightest shade in the, I'm not sure what they would call this, compact makeup. This is liquid. This says liquid, so maybe this one's a cream. So if you want more coverage, basically, like, it doesn't look horrible on my skin. I don't know if you can see. It's got a bit of a satiny finish. It's not as dewy looking or as shiny as the Wet n Wild one. It's not bad. It's not bad. Is it worth the $12.44 price tag? I don't think so, in my opinion, for me. It is highly fragranced, but it's not burning my eyes at this point. It does have some, it says it's hydrating. It doesn't feel that hydrating to me, but it doesn't feel as heavy as this one. This feels a little bit lighter. I don't know. It just depends. This one I kind of like, though, because you can shear it out, and it feels like you can control the coverage a little bit better with this one. This one's kind of difficult because you're pumping it out and you have to kind of shear it out on your hand and then apply it to your face. And I don't know, it feels like it's easier to know how much you're getting with this or to kind of customize it with this one. So I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. These are pretty similar in my opinion. If I had to choose one of these, I would choose this one. But again, I'm not over the moon about either one of these. They're okay. They're okay. I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase these at all, but they're not terrible. It just depends on what you're looking for and if you can find your shade. But for me, I would rather have the Wet n Wild one, and I know it's less money, but it's also less product. I don't know, you guys, but I was expecting for a little bit more out of these because of the higher price tag, and there's a little bit of hype about these that I've seen. So yeah, again, if I could only pick one of these and they were the only ones in the store, I would choose this one. Personal preference, though. And I think this one would last a little bit longer because you can shear it out. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. At least you could kind of see how it went on my skin. I mean, it's too orangey though, and I really do not like this shade. But unfortunately, I think there's one lighter that I could have tried. Not on this one. This one was the lightest shade, and it was actually a pretty good match. So, all right, well, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.